Hello and welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back. I think we're up to episode 8, which is kind of crazy to think about. If you're here wanting to solve all your problems and think very logically, we don't need that right now for this episode, okay? All logic is thrown out the window at this point, so just know that that's like a warning in the beginning. All logic out the window. You have joined us on a very special occasion when we get to describe the difference between girl math and boy math. Now, there's been a lot of research done in girl math, but I feel like there hasn't been much on boy math, so we're here to dive into the topic. And hopefully you're ready for a wild ride that may make sense to the girls, maybe not the guys, and that's okay. We're not here to give you logic answers. No, we're not. Starting off our non-logic, no, kidding. Just like always, we want to start off our podcast with weekly stats you didn't need to know, but now you know. Again, no acronym, because who wants that long of an acronym? So Holly, you want to take it away? What are your weekly stats or stat?
All right, so the first one, even though I'm really pale still, I haven't gotten a sunburn yet this summer. So my first stat is sunburns of the summer, 0.
That is a great stat line. You want to have that. I feel like over the past couple of years, there's been a lot of awareness around actually putting on sunscreen. Because I remember when I was younger, I don't want to feel sticky from sunscreen or anything, but I'm so pale that I can burn on a cloudy day. So yeah, it's good. It's good so you don't get skin cancer and all that. So good job.
And I feel like sunscreens are just so much more aesthetic these days, and there's not more high quality ones. I got the Trader Joe's sunscreen stick and the glitter sunscreen oil. I'm not sure if it actually works, so I use it with other sunscreen, but it's glittery and fun.
It makes you want to use the sunscreen.
Yeah.
Have you seen the foaming sunscreen?
Yeah, I've seen those too.
I don't know. It's very expensive per bottle of sunscreen, but it's foamy like a shaving cream kind of, which sounds intriguing. So if anyone's tried it, we want to know. Does it actually work or is it just fun?
And then, so my second stat for this week is snack wraps I've had from McDonald's too. They brought them back. I had never had one before. They were
You've never had them?
Yeah.
Okay, snack wraps are back. Spread the word. Honestly, those were always good. And like, I feel like, were they there in middle school?
Oh yeah, like when I was in middle school.
But then like, when did they get rid of them? We'll have to research that. But I feel like it's been a few years since they've had them. And it's so simple. You got your tortilla, you got your chicken tender, ranch, lettuce, cheese, boom.
Easy, simple, good.
And it's one of those ones where you order them and then you eat it and you'll say, why haven't I made this at my house? I don't know. Unanswerable question we ask on this podcast.
I'm not going to make them for myself, but hey,
no,
they're good.
So now you know where to get them.
Oh, I do. Now you know them.
There you go. Go get your snack wraps. Those are good. For my stats of the week, I think it would be great. One day we might have to do this. Of just looking back at the texts from your dad, okay? Mom texts are one thing. Maybe we'll have to dive into this in another episode. Mom texts are one thing. Dad texts are a whole nother breed, let me tell you. If you were to scroll back on the past, 3 weeks of text between me and my dad, it is this, verbatim. Storms could be popping up. Just be aware of the radar. Hey, there's a chance of rain today. Make sure you keep your eye on the weather. The weather's pretty good for a thunderstorm. All these weather alerts, which I do appreciate. And 99% of the time, he's actually right about it. I mean, you might hear the rain in the background. It just started pouring. I got a he told me in person about the thunderstorms could be happening. And I actually received a phone call from him a few minutes ago about how storms are brewing. So maybe that's just a Midwest dad thing. But I should give stats. When I've been editing and rewatching the previous episodes, I realized I give a stat, but there's no numbers attached to it. So that's really not a stat. So the amount of texts and notifications I've gotten from my dad in the past week about weather and storms are brewing, I think it's been 4. A phone call, 2 text messages, and 1 in person. So if your dad isn't warning you about the weather, who is? How are you going to stay safe in this Midwest weather?
How will you stay safe?
I don't know, but I am safe because of my father. So thank you, Ted. And if you missed our episode about TED Talks, go back to that. It's pretty good. Now, my other stat, I know 4th of July was a few weeks ago, and hopefully everyone enjoyed their 4th. With the 4th being on a Friday, I feel like all the days just merged together, and it was like one long weekend party, which was kind of fun. But then when I went back to work on Monday, that was a little bit rough. But the stat I was going to give is the different types of salads I ate in the past week. And no, I'm not here to brag to you that I ate salad every single day of the week. No. I am talking about different types of salads. Okay. So 4th of July, we had potato salad, pasta salad, and broccoli salad. No regular, just green salad. No fancy salad, but it's really just Jello. If you know about the Jello salads. Homemade potato salad, homemade pasta salad, homemade broccoli salad. Delicious. I do like all the various types of salads. And when you eat them, you forget, why don't you make them more often? So if you're hungry and you don't know what you're hungry for, go find a recipe on your Pinterest board that's all organized and make a salad. There's usually some really good recipes for at least, well, pretty good recipes for everything. I do have to say, potato salad made with more Dijon than mayo is elite. My aunt's recipe that my mom makes, delicious. But those are our stats of the week, the weekly stats you didn't need to know, but now you know.
But now you know.
Yes. So you're learning something new every week on this podcast.
I recently made the watermelon feta salad for the first time.
Is it good?
Really good, yeah.
I love watermelon. I love feta, but it just felt weird mixed together.
Because I was kind of scared to try it for a minute, but it was actually really good.
That sounds good. And then the other day I went to go cut up a watermelon that we had gotten. I'm so excited because I love watermelon. And I feel like with watermelon, there's a few categories that it has to fall into to be good. So juiciness, texture, flavor, and probably seeds. Obviously, I try to get seedless. But you could have something that has good texture and is juicy, but tastes terrible. And that's what happened this past week. Or you could have something that tastes good and is juicy, but the texture, I hate grainy watermelon.
Oh, it's the worst.
The worst. So unfortunately, the watermelon I had this past week was not good. We had to toss it.
It's always such a bummer too, because I recently learned that slapping a watermelon isn't actually a good way of testing.
Oh, really?
If it's ripe or not. But you know what? I still haven't stopped doing it.
It's kind of like when you pick up tongs. You just gotta click on them to make sure they work. It's the watermelon, you gotta pat it to make sure it's hollow. But apparently that's not right.
Because I learned about that years ago, that it doesn't really reflect if it's sweet and juicy. But I still do it even years after.
That's okay. No one's gonna judge you for that.
But yeah, apparently if it has yellow on it, it's sweeter.
I saw this on Pinterest, and again, we're mentioning this because if you missed 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Pinterest board, what it says about you. On Pinterest, there's one about watermelons, and it'll show what's a good one and what's not. And if I'm remembering correctly, I have it screenshotted on my phone, but I don't have my phone next to me. You want it oblong, not round. It should have the dark green streaks through it, and you want a large yellow spot to show where it was on the ground. And if it doesn't have those, then it won't be very good.
But yeah, so if you want more tips on how to pick out fresh produce, hit us up.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at that. My mom trained me pretty well.
No, same. Growing up, my mom was always just you have to pick out good ones.
Did you know, this kind of blew my mind. Did you know when you go to the grocery store and you see a bag of grapes in the plastic container, or green beans in one of those zip plastic containers, you don't have to buy the whole bag of grapes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't have to buy the whole bag of grapes. You don't have to buy the whole bag of green beans. That's what my grandma would do when it's just her, right? She would just grab one of those produce bags, or you can put green peppers in, individual stuff, and just take a handful of grapes out, which is kind of crazy, or a handful of green beans.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to buy the whole bag. Fact. We're just full of fun facts today.
But no, it's great to know, because I try not to waste produce, but I don't eat it all for sure. But all right, so.
Oh, okay. Today is a great episode. I feel like we've been wanting to do this one for a while. So it's boy math versus girl math. There's been a lot of interesting stuff on girl math, not as much on boy math. And before we get started, I do like to say I love math. I actually have my degree in undergrad for math. I know what I'm talking about. I'm also a girl, so that there you go. Girl and math together. I'm a genius. We're experts on this subject. When listening to the next part of the podcast, do not think logically. Just listen in one ear, maybe let it go out the other. To a math major, mathematician, it makes sense to me. If you were to ask an accountant, it makes absolutely zero sense to them. Okay? So just take that with a grain of salt and let's dive in. Before we get started, we should probably define what girl math is. So if you haven't heard it, it was this popular topic on TikTok, pretty much the whole internet. Maybe it was even a few years ago. We're getting there, okay? We may not know all the brand new stuff, but we're getting there, all right? And basically, it's deeply relatable logic that girls use to justify their spending habits, okay? So do you want to go into some girl math things? Like what makes sense in the girl math world?
So, like, the most common examples were always like couponing and shopping. So, if you get a 30% off coupon, but you still spent $200, you still save money.
There you go. I mean, I love to coupon. Saving money is good. I've also seen where if you pay for something in cash, it's actually free in the sense of you probably stopped at the ATM, got cash, forgot about it for a while. And now when you're paying in cash, you don't have to pay it off your credit card at the end of the month. Hence, it was just free money sitting in your wallet that you're going to use. And so it's free. You didn't have to pay. Logically doesn't make sense, but in girl math world, yes, it makes so much sense. It really does. I'm trying to think. Oh, returns. Those are a big one. I had a really fun experience in returns today. I was returning something on Amazon and they said, okay, you're being refunded. No need to return the item. I just made money there. I really did make money back. So that math checks out. The math is mathing there. But if you return something, which is awesome, and then you get that money back. So say you had a return, you return something for $80, you got the $80 back, and then you buy something for $60, then you made $20. It checks out.
And then another example of girl math would be if you buy yourself a little treat every day, but it's only $5. The money doesn't exist. So buy yourself that little treat.
You got to treat yourself.
It's just a little treat.
That's how I see when I'm buying coffee. Unfortunately, it's probably no longer $5 anymore, but that's beside the point. Like, you need a little treat here and there. If you don't buy your weekly coffee one week, you save money. Boom. There it is. If something's on sale, that's amazing. You just saved money.
Or if you use Afterpay, then you didn't spend $100. You only spent $25.
4 times.
4 times.
But no one's counting how many times. You just have to remind yourself. So it's really to put a little pep in your step, make you feel good about your purchases. It's all emotional and it's based off of vibes. Okay, that's all it's based off of. Have you ever purchased something and forgot you bought it?
Yeah.
And then you find it in your closet or in your room months later? That's just a surprise for you. Your old self wanted to surprise your future self.
And I have a bad habit of doing this. So if you buy something from AliExpress or Shein and you just forgot that you ordered it and it comes a month later, then it's free. It's just a present to yourself. It's a free present.
If you want to hype yourself up, you're getting yourself a present. There you go. I have definitely done this before, especially on like Kohl's or Target, where maybe you need to hit a certain amount to get free shipping. So instead of paying, say you need to spend $50 to get free shipping and you're at $40, instead of paying the $8 in shipping, so your overall total would be $48, you go find, especially Kohl's is so good at this, you go to their clearance section and you find the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen on clearance for the cheapest thing. Do you need that item that you're going to purchase so that you can get free shipping so you didn't have to spend the $8 that was going to be your shipping costs and you're really going to spend more than what you would have spent if you just paid shipping? Yes, you will. That was probably hard to follow, but if you understand where I'm coming from, it makes, I feel like that meme where it's like, you know, the guy who is like tapping his head. Yeah, it makes,
you're saving money.
Makes sense. You don't have to pay for shipping. You can also get really trippy with you buy something extra just to get free shipping, but you know that you drive past the store every day when you go to work, so you just return the item that you didn't want that helped you get the free shipping.
That was smart.
Yeah, it's an extra stop, and yeah, it probably only saved you $8, but then you don't have a house full of stuff you don't need or want. I've done that a couple times. Another couponing hack, if you have, so Jewel in the Chicagoland area has deals, right? So you can use, well, I do this, like I use my phone number to get rewards and say there's a restriction, you can only buy 2 strawberry packages. So then I use my mom's phone number to get the other 2 strawberry packages. So then I can have 4 when you're really only supposed to have 2.
My mom loves that. So she'll text me and my sisters to clip coupons for her. And she just has all our phone numbers and just like plugs them all in.
That's what you gotta do. Or have you ever had one where you have a coupon, but it can only be used? Oh, I've done this. Okay. So it's like 10 off of 25 and you can use it multiple times. So instead of paying $50 and only getting $10 off, you split the transaction. So like if my mom and I were shopping, my mom would go buy the $25 thing, get the $10 off, and then I would go buy the other $25 thing, get $10 off. So really we saved 20 off of 50.
It's pretty smart. It's pretty smart.
It probably makes no sense just listening to me rattle off numbers.
But I know what you mean though.
Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying.
Like another piece of girl math is when you like put like 25 things in your cart and then you only buy like 5 of them and you feel like you're financially responsible because you didn't buy all 25.
You feel so responsible.
Yay.
Do you ever go the Kohl's app? We're talking a lot about Kohl's. We're not sponsored by Kohl's, but the Kohl's app is so hard to navigate and you start going down a rabbit hole that I would just start adding stuff to cart in case I thought like I would maybe want it. And then at the end, just clear out the cart. So I've definitely done that before. How about this? I don't know about you, but finding jeans that fit and are comfortable and are cute. Pain in the butt. Pain. Once you find that brand, that style, the cut that you're looking for, if you ever find it on sale, I don't care how many pairs of jeans you have. If you ever find a pair that's on sale, even super duper sale, you're buying them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're buying them. I found a pair that I really like at Old Navy. They usually have pretty good jeans, a bunch of different sizes. I always go through the clearance rack whenever I go to a store. That's the first thing I go to. And I found a pair of jeans, $5.
That's so good.
I was like, are you serious? And then my boyfriend was looking at me. He's like, do you really need another pair of jeans? I said, I don't need to hear it. It was $5. I need another pair of jeans.
And I'm not sure if this is even like girl math, but like from my point of view, it's like if I find a pair of jeans or shorts that actually fits, I'll just buy 5. I don't care.
Yeah. Or I like this one shirt, and then whenever there's a sale, I'll buy like 3 more of the same shirt, just in different colors when it's on sale. Yeah. Or if you find something that really fits and works well, you're not going to go through the hassle of trying to find it in a different color, pattern, whatever. You're just going to buy more of it from the same store. Yeah.
And then I did the same thing with like my fiance where I figured out like he really liked, like there's like a pair of pants from
What did he say about the size?
Oh yeah, so he said a while ago, he was like, any pair of pants fits you as long as it's bigger. You can just wear a belt. So he's like,
that's boy math.
Yeah, that's boy math. You see, that's boy math.
That's boy math. We'll get into that in a few minutes. I was gonna say I don't want to gatekeep this, but American Eagle has curvy style jeans. So there's a difference between like the waist and the hips. There's like a 3-inch difference compared to normal jeans, and they fit really well. And I've recommended them to my friends and they love them. And I was recommended that from a friend. So I highly recommend if you're looking for jeans, look for the curvy style. If that's what you need, and that's what you need.
Those are like some of the only jeans I'll buy now. They're so good.
I swear, pants and stuff were not meant for girls.
No, they weren't.
They were made for like sticks. Or I don't even know. For people who have no hips. Or like people who are straight up and down. I don't know. They're not made for women, I feel like.
Definitely. That's why like I basically live in leggings, and like if I have a job where I'm not allowed to wear leggings.
I know. Leggings, your shorts, jean shorts. I haven't touched mine all summer.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, like when I was younger, I'd wear jean shorts. I've just given up on them. Nike shorts, so comfortable though.
I'll do that. And then you gotta dress up. I'm not putting on a pair of jean shorts.
No, I'll wear a dress, but I'm done with jean shorts.
Jean shorts. And some people look so good in them. And some, like the new style, the summers, the like longer jean shorts. I don't look good in those. Like it's the same size like waist as my thigh. Like it just looks weird. I feel like the ratio of waist to thigh. They're supposed to be baggy on your thigh, but if you have like muscular thighs, they're not baggy, or you have to buy way too big. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Anyone else not dealing with that? Okay, so we dove into girl math. Some of you have probably heard all these things. Oh, another thing of girl math that I used on my trip when I went to Boston and Maine. I had purchased the flight way ahead of time. I had purchased some of the hotel stuff way ahead of time. So then by the time we went on vacation, it was already paid for, so hence free trip.
Yeah, free.
It's free. But let's dive into boy math. I feel like a lot of people understand girl math. If we missed one, let us know, because I feel like we probably are missing one or a couple. But that's okay. If you have your own take on girl math, also let us know. But boy math, this was very interesting. Depending on the person you asked, you would get very different responses.
So we didn't have nearly as much to like go off on boy math. So we asked some boys in their life what boy math meant to them.
Yes. So I'll give you some examples that my brother gave me, which I felt were very accurate for boy math. You look at things in price per use, and the more you use a product or an item, the cost goes down. So for example, my brother bought this fancy kettlebell. Could he have purchased a way cheaper one and probably gotten a set of 45 different kettlebells for the price he paid for one? I'm exaggerating here. Yes, but every time he uses the kettlebell, the cost per use goes down. Adding in girl math, once you get the cost per use down so much, boom, it was free.
And you could make a graph for that too.
You could find the break point even.
Yes.
The break point to find where the price and yeah.
So instead of having like a workout motivation app, just have
Just stare at your
binder
phone.
graphs on how to break even.
You're like, I'm only 45 workouts away from making this be $1 per workout. Oh, but by next year, I'll have it down so it's 37 cents a workout. That one was a good one. The whole philosophy of if it's $20 or less, let me buy it. Prime example, the Aldi aisle of shame. If it's less than $20 and you're probably going to use it, buy it. I like that boy math. I can relate to that one. This one I feel like definitely differs from boy math to girl math for certain items. My brother said if it's a few more dollars for like an upgraded version of something, he'll spend more money to get the better product. So he gave an example of a leaf blower, I think. So relatable for the girls out there. But a leaf blower, Model A is the basic model, and it's $60. Model B is a step up and it's better. It's $90. Yeah, I'll pay the $30 difference. I feel like for girls, we're more likely to find all the deals, so it doesn't matter if we spend less money on something that we know won't last for super long, versus guys will not want to jump through all the hoops to find all the coupons, so they'll spend a little bit more money on something that will last many years. So, and I feel like they have stuff that they like for so many years that it doesn't matter, whereas sometimes girls I feel like can be kind of trendy.
Yeah.
Where you'll want something that trends one year, but I know if I only paid $8 for it, I don't mind wearing it a few times and then donating it, sort of thing.
So a prime example is Carhartt.
Oh, really?
Boys love Carhartt.
Oh, yeah.
And it's gotten like pretty trendy now for boys.
And it's not that expensive, but I mean, you could go to Walmart and buy a shirt for $5, or you could buy a Carhartt shirt for, I don't even know how much, $25. Yeah. So I think it just depends, but that boy math is logical.
It works out. So there's applications where it's reasonable, and
Yeah.
applications where it sure isn't.
Sure.
So some of the examples of boy math I got from my fiance. So the cooler the car you buy, the less important the APR is. Thankfully, he's not this kind. But for an example, it's like if you're 18 and you buy a Dodge Charger or a Dodge Challenger, yeah, get 15% APR.
Yeah.
Why not?
When I bought my car, the APR was so high, even though I have good credit score. First time buying, it was at 13% just because of the way the.
Yeah, so I really recommend refinancing because I have a good credit score too. But from CarMax Auto Finance gave me about like a 14% APR with a over 700 credit score.
Wow.
And then through a credit union, I got 5%.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Good. That's
so
good.
definitely check out like credit unions too.
Look at us with all of our tips and tricks thrown in there.
But yeah, so Definitely check that out because it's like, even if you have like a good credit score, dealerships will not give you good APR.
Nah,
No, just not.
no. I'm trying to think. Don't ask an accountant about boy math. Say not logical, math and it's wrong. End of story. Talk to you later. That is the response I got. And that's okay.
It's not meant to be logical. It's meant to be funny and relatable.
And feel good. You just want it to make sense. Kind of proving a point that you're always right. That might be the kicker.
Yeah.
You're always right.
So another example I got from my fiance is boy math, well, refusing to go to therapy, but having a playlist for every one of your emotions.
There you go.
Yeah. You don't need to talk. You got music.
Emotions? Nope. Don't need them.
No.
Yes. Are there any other?
So there's also like silly financial boy math that boys will do too. For example, well, girls will be like, okay, I got 30% off at Sephora, so I basically made money. Boys will be like, if I spent $2,000 on a PC, that's reasonable because it would be more expensive if I went out to the movie theater every day for 3 straight years.
That's where the logic comes in. Yes. Here's another fun one. $100 in sports betting, completely fine. It's an investment.
And then similarly, if I only place under $5 bets, they're basically not real.
So wrong, but we don't judge because we have our own theory of math. So we'll just leave that be. The other thing is like planning. I feel like girls can plan a little bit better. Maybe there's some guys out there that plan well, but girls are more likely to plan stuff. But then guys will be like, okay, how long is the drive? Okay, map says 45 minutes. I'll be there in 40. Like they'll just figure out a way to get there faster. I don't know how it works or how they figure out a route that gets them to point A to point B the fastest, but they do.
And I feel like it really is different when you look at how boys and girls pack for trips.
Oh my God.
Because
Don't get me started.
vacations will be like, okay, so I'm going on a 7-day vacation. I should need 3 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, and 3 socks.
1 pair of shoes.
Nothing else.
And toiletries, they got their shampoo, conditioner, body wash all in one. It's not fair. Girls, it's like, I've seen this funny tweet. It's like, I'm going to shit my pants for the next 7 days. So I need at least 12 pairs of underwear. You got t-shirts. Then you got do you ever do this where you're like, well, if I'm not feeling like wearing this outfit, then this would be my backup outfit. So you end up bringing like 4 extra outfits. I always forget. We tend to visit family a lot on vacations, right? They have washer and dryer. We can do laundry. It's not like they don't have that, but I pack like they don't have that. Oh, yes. Just a nightmare. I do have to say the last 2 trips I've been on, I've worn every single piece of clothing I brought, which is...
Ooh, that's good. And I think that this is mom logic, but keeping an extra change of car or clothes in your car. This mom logic.
We can go into... We should do mom logic and dad logic.
Oh, that'd be a good one too.
We'll have to dive into that one. That'll be entertaining. I'm trying to think, was there anything else for... This is boy logic. Ready? I have rewards with Thornton's gas. You just type in your phone number and then every so often you get percentage off or whatever. Instead of getting his own Thornton's reward system, which would probably take 5 seconds to do, my brother uses my phone number. That's boy math. Somebody else has it. It works well. Just use it.
It works.
It does work. It's just funny. Well,
okay, and then here's another popular piece of boy logic in media right now. So boy logic would be to have a $1,000 TV sitting on the floor, no couch, 2 lawn chairs.
There you go.
You have color changing LED lights.
That's a classic one.
Is it classic?
Yes.
For a table, you can have a cooler if you want, or you can use a cardboard box that the TV came in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as you have the TV, you got the stereo system. Yeah, you're good.
And bed frames are optional.
I luckily haven't had to do with that.
Thankfully, I haven't either.
I guess they are. I feel like this is more dad logic, but they'll wear shoes and clothes and stuff that will have holes in it or what. Like they'll wear it until they literally cannot wear it.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's dad logic.
And another one is boys will always think that they don't like shopping unless it's sneakers.
Yes.
Yes.
I do have to say though, my boyfriend and I have gone to the store, went to Kohl's again. Feel like Kohl's should just sponsor us, and we actually found stuff. I feel like when you're a girl trying to shop, Kohl's in person, it's a hit or miss. Online, it's hit or miss. I feel like sometimes I can't find the styles I like or whatever. For guys, it's like, here you go. Here's a pair of shorts. Do you want them in denim? Do you want them breathable? Do you want athletic shorts? Boom, 3 options. Here's a polo shirt. Here's a button-down shirt. Here's a t-shirt. 3 options. Boom. Here's swim trunks. Done. Boy math is knowing that you need a new pair of shorts, but not knowing what size.
And then here's another common one. Boy math is spending 8 hours fixing something that would have cost $20 to have someone else fix for you.
That is so true. Or doing something. My brother's gotten into a lot of hobbies, and I can appreciate the hobbies he's gotten into. In my mind, it makes no sense. Built his own computer. Super cool. He's knowledgeable. He's a wizard with that. He knows how. In my head, I'm like, why didn't you just spend X amount of dollars and buy a laptop that works? But then you have the ability to be like, yeah, I built that. And yes, he does have one of those fun keyboards on his computer that goes click, 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 clack when he's typing. And he wouldn't let me touch his keyboard for like 5 years. He's like, don't touch my computer. Don't touch it. So that, or just like DIY projects, you know, if it's small and I can find it on Pinterest, I might do it. But if it's going to take way too much time, I might, like, if it was to make my own cabinet, no, I'm not doing that.
And it's sad because, like, since the pandemic, material costs have really gone up too.
Yeah.
Like, building furniture and woodworking is so much more expensive now than just buying things at the store, which is kind of sad.
We'll get into expenses a little bit later. But yeah. So if you have a hobby and it's fun for you, I can see it. But something like, no, I'm paying the extra whatever to get it done. My math is, it's my hobby. I'll get it done. Doesn't matter how long or how much it costs.
And then a last but not least example from me, boy math would be refusing to go to the doctor.
That's so accurate. I am completely fine. Don't need to go to the doctor.
And like, there's just a list of excuses as to why
oh my God,
to go to the doctor.
The doctor, the dentist, everything is scary.
Yeah. Just like, no, I'll just tough it up.
That's so accurate. Like, I know so many people.
Like, imagine what like a toxic middle school or high school football coach would just say and just walk it off. It's just like that in the back of the pen, just imprinted forever. Walk it off.
That is boy math right there. If we miss anything with any boy math, let us know. Not a lot of people have dove into boy math because it's a little scary. No, I'm kidding. It's actually not that scary. It makes sense. And now we can kind of go through, like, when to use girl math, when to use boy math. Because let's use both. Let's put our two brains together and make it great. So, for example, you can use girl math when it comes to skincare, vacations, and coffee, right? Find those reward systems, those coupons. For example, like, I like to treat myself to a coffee. Can I afford Starbucks every day? No. If we got a sponsorship for the podcast, could I afford Starbucks every day? Maybe. But instead, I use my credit card rewards and get a gift card to Starbucks, so then my Starbucks was free. Girl math. When don't you want to use girl math?
So you don't want to use girl math when it comes to bills, rent, anything that can dock your credit score, you know?
That's true.
So just like set up everything on auto pay, so that way you just know the extra money in your account is like spending money, you know?
Yep. I'm trying to think. Boy math, you could use it to justify maybe a little bit of a larger expense purchase that you're going to use for multiple years, like a computer. Maybe you'll spend a little bit more now, but you know you're going to use it for many years. So you can do that. And then the price per cost goes down.
Oh, yeah. But so you wouldn't want to use boy math in situations where medical decisions come up, or just even like risk averse situation, like thinking, like using boy math to decide if you can do like an ATV or like motorcycle trick. Don't use boy math.
Oh, yeah. Trying to see if you can do something very challenging. Definitely. All right. And that brings us to our rant of the week, our Expertly Unqualified rant of the week. It has nothing to do with math. It has nothing to do with boys or girls. So this week, it's relatable because I made Aldi's Take and Bake Pizza. I'm not going to gatekeep this from you. Aldi's Take and Bake Pizza is a delicious take and bake pizza. It's a giant pizza that is like $7. Can you name me another restaurant or place that will give you a giant pizza for $7?
And they're actually so good too. I've been eating these for so long.
They're so good. They have a supreme one. They have pepperoni. I think they have 4 cheese. They have all of them. But the rant of the week is, one week I realized I didn't even really have a rant. It was just me talking about a subject. Here's a rant. Why do pizza companies put directions on the bottom of the pizza. So this take and bake pizza, they got away with it because I'll explain in a second. This take and bake pizza, right? It's on just a cardboard circle. You got the pizza, it's saran wrapped, and the directions for the pizza are on the bottom. That means you have to literally, because you don't want to spill all the toppings, you have to literally hold up the pizza like this, look underneath and see, okay, 350, 17 minutes. Then you put it back down, go to set the oven, and you're like, shoot, what temperature is it supposed to go at? And you're like, okay, you hold the pizza back up, try not to spill all the toppings, all the cheese, and you're like, okay, 350, 17 minutes. You set the 350, it beeps, you're all good. You go to put it in the oven, you're like, dang it, how many minutes am I supposed to cook this pizza? Well, you don't know because it's on the bottom of the pizza, so you probably just take the pizza out and throw it away. So I want to know, why is it on the bottom of pizza? Aldi, you're okay because you put a little piece of paper on top of the pizza too that I believe it definitely had the time, so that's good. It may have had the oven temperature, but why is it on the bottom?
And then it makes no sense. And I have another rant, going off the food rant, is why do some stores have some coupons where you just need an account, but others you have to click on the app? Because there's just so much extra work to have to look at an app and clip all my coupons.
Okay, I don't understand that. I love the Jewel app, right?
Yeah.
But instead of having a button to say clip all coupons,
Yeah.
you have to physically go in there and tap every single coupon. It doesn't take that long, but it's such a pain. You're just like click, 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 click. And then if you, God forbid, you forget to snip a coupon and then your grapes end up being $7 instead of $2,
seriously?
it makes your whole weekend terrible.
And then you have to like hail someone down when it's busy to like get them to remove your grapes because you're paying $7 a pound.
Oh my gosh, it's the worst. It ruins your weekend. And then how about when you don't realize you bought organic and then you charge organic prices? But there was one time I was at Jewel, again, not sponsored. I was at Jewel and they're like, did you clip these? I'm like, yeah, I did. And then they would come off. Anyway, that was a tangent story. So we want to know, why do pizza places like take and bake pizzas, frozen pizzas, put the directions on the bottom box? You're gonna have to flip the pizza over or look like an idiot in your kitchen holding the pizza up in the air to look to see what the directions are just to forget what they are. Why can't they be on the top? Want to know. And then, in addition, if you're gonna have us have an account or clip your coupons, can we have a button that says clip all coupons?
Yeah.
Would that be too hard?
No, it would.
I don't know. And we do have a fun section of expertly unqualified advice given to me by a random stranger that came to my house and ate my food. Long story, but if you were there, you would understand. I was told, in essence, that I am not able to afford my own house because I own this water bottle. That was, in essence, what a stranger said to me at my own house, eating my own food. Said, you know what? Just save your money. You're good. You're young. But make sure you're not buying outrageous things. For example, that's a pretty expensive water bottle you have there. I said, I'm sorry, what? Using girl math, I probably had coupons. I bought it on sale. And the price per use, ready? So I bought it 3 years ago, still kicking today. And yeah, it's so good. And the response was, well, you could have bought a cheaper water bottle and still used that for 3 years. So here's here's our advice to you. If you're looking at Zillow and you realize you can't afford anything, it's because of your water bottle.
Because like I've gotten some Stanleys on sale from REI for like $20. So it's like, okay, so you spend less than $10 a year on water bottles. That's why you can't afford to buy a $500,000 house.
That's why you can't afford anything. It's your water bottle.
I thought we stopped after the avocado toast controversy.
It's new.
Of just blaming.
It's brand new.
But yeah, apparently no. Now we're blaming young people for having water bottles.
Yep. So there you go. You got a rant. You got advice. You got lovely advice that no one asked for.
And just remember, if you can't meet your dreams, try harder. It's what she would do.
Try harder. And look at your water bottle. If it's over $25 for that water bottle, that's why you're broke.
Because you too can live a joyless life.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again for joining us on this episode. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right, bye. Thank you for listening. That's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long,
you're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you.
Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode.
We are, as always,
Expertly Unqualified. Conversation so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing.
This was a Podmates production.